Now, moving on from the Winter Olympics, we often have you on to talk about sport, but the other thing we have you on to talk about is showbiz news. And this week, the Oscar nominations were announced. And I have to say, maybe it's because we were in lockdown last year and there's thousands of cases a day and I don't want to be in a dark room with everyone breathing on me, but I didn't know any of these movies. Did you know many of the nominations?
I knew a few of them. I was surprised Lady Gaga didn't get anything, but we'll get back to that.
Now, last year's Oscars were held in a train station. Any word where they're holding this year's? I was hoping maybe it'd be the Greyhound bus terminal, maybe.
Well, I actually thought the bus terminals the old bus terminals or tram sheds, I believe in Sydney, would be in a good place. But no, they're being held on March 27 back at the Dolby Theatre.
And Samuel L. Jackson is actually getting an honorary Oscar this year, I think, for most times swearing at snakes, yeah?
I think so. I don't know why, but I think he seems to be typecast because in each movie I've seen him playing, he's either shouting, angry, or loud. I don't know why, but it's one of those categories.
Well, hopefully that speech will be on the telecast because I think it'll be one to watch live so before they bleep it, definitely, for sure.
Well, I do hope he speaks his normal, natural voice and not like a shouting character thing, because I tend to want to put it on mute. Come on, Samuel Jackson, show us the real you. I want to see the real you. No shouting, no angry, the real you. Surely you aren't angry in your real life.
And looking at the, hopefully there'll be some shouting from the Australians if they win, because 5 Australians actually got nominated, 6 if you count Jane Campion, and I think we should because she's a Kiwi who basically lives here. And Nicole Kidman was one of the Aussies who got nominated for playing Lucille Ball in Amazon's gritty Aaron Sorkin reboot of I Love Lucy, being the Ricardos. What's next? They're going to reboot some other funny sitcoms into psychological thrillers. What, like Alf, directed by David Fincher, or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Oh no, wait, that actually did get rebooted into a gritty series.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if look, if Nicole Kidman wins the Oscar, she was the best choice for it.
Well, the trailer looks great. I'm looking forward to watching it the next time I buy something off Amazon and they give me another free month of Amazon Prime, because that's the only way I watch any of the Amazon shows. It's like, I'll just order a new phone off Amazon. Oh, I get a free month of watching some Oscar movies. Great.
But yeah, I do hope Nicole gets an Oscar. It would be good to have already get an Oscar. Very talented, so lucky to be in so many films. We are rooting for you, Nicole.
Absolutely. And we're fast running out of time, so let's just quickly go through the Best Picture nominations. Now, this year there's 10 films nominated. For the last 10 years or so, it's expanded from 5 to around 8 or 10 because they didn't want to. They wanted to have more blockbusters in there and less art house bombs. And this year they've got a list of 10 art house bombs. So it's I don't know if this theory worked for them. Anyway, let's go through the list and tell me what you know about them. First of all, we got Coda, which, as I mentioned before, is Apple TV's movie about deaf parents. Now, if you haven't heard about this movie, it's because a lot of the people who've watched it haven't heard about it. Oh, because it's on Apple TV is what I mean. Yes.
That's right. The next one is Don't Look Up, which is Adam McKay's political satire.
From the director of Austin Powers. Yeah. And don't look up reviews of this film because I've heard it's bad.
Okay, yes. Drive My Car. It's a Japanese film, which I thought was made up with the cast from the Teletubbies.
Yes, no, it's not a kid's film. It's not a Wiggles film. It's a 3-hour art house Japanese film about someone driving. Sounds riveting. Of course, now the biggest blockbuster on here is Dune, Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi movie, which I saw outdoors at the Moonlight Cinema, and I have to say, I felt like it had a lot of weird sound effects of like birds and planes and dogs barking. Turns out that was just me watching the movie outdoors at Moonlight Cinema. Yeah,
dogs are allowed at Moonlight. I know for sure, because it's pretty much a public space, really.
Exactly.
But the dogs don't know that. They just go everywhere they want. And so right, they should. They're dogs.
Next, we have King Richard, in which Will Smith plays the parents of Serena and Venus Williams, and Will Smith's attempted to get his first Oscar for this. But I was Googling this, and it turns out the most common thing Googled about the movie King Richard is the words, "Is King Richard based on a true story?" It's like, what? Have people never heard of Serena and Venus Williams? It's like, oh, these tennis players are good. I wish they were real. Nobody can be that good in real life.
Well, it's funny when I think of King Richard, I think of King Richard in the UK, like in the late 1100s, Middle Ages UK, King Richard. Yeah, I'm not sure why they called the movie King Richard. It should have called the film King William. That would have been good.
Or King Tennis Coach Dad. That would have been.
That's right.
More accurate.
Yeah.
I want accuracy.
Yeah, because seriously, I didn't think cricket was not cricket. Tennis was a big. I didn't think tennis was a big thing in the 1100s.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No, it
In the
wasn't.
Dark Ages UK.
And,
Funny that.
and next up we have Licorice Pizza. What do you think this movie's about? Just going off the name.
Well, I actually thought it was something involving a cooking show on SBS. You know, like Gordon Ramsay's Pizza Nightmares.
That I'd watch.
Licorice
no,
Pizza.
it's Paul Thomas Anderson, so of course it's set in Los Angeles in the 1970s. Like all his movies are. And we got to rush through these last few. A Nightmare Alley. Guillermo del Toro. The Nightmare is just the trailer. I couldn't figure out what this movie was about. Do you know anything about this movie, Nightmare Alley? No idea.
No, the first thing that comes to mind is Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger.
I think it's
That's
trying
the
to be
first thing
that
comes
vibe, but being Guillermo del Toro, it probably involves like someone having sex with a mermaid or something, because that was all I remember from his last movie.
Flashbacks.
Then we've got the two favourites, Belfast, which is Kenneth Branagh's historical movie about his upbringing. Where do you think Belfast was filmed?
It should be around London.
It was, yes. Belfast was filmed in London. That's more Hollywood lies for you. And then I think the favourite to win is the Jane Campion American Western, The Power of the Dog. Guess where this American Western was filmed?
New Zealand.
Yes, more Hollywood lies. Anyway, look, we're completely out of time. Stefan, great to have you on the show. Anything you want to plug?
Not at this stage, no. But later on, I'll be definitely plugging something coming up.
All right. Well,
Something special.
Great to have you back, and happy 2023, my friend. 2022. What year is it? 2022. Happy 2023 as well.
Thanks for having me, Dylan.
Thanks
and Happy
for
New
that.
Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.